Hey guys, this is Untitled Modeling. Welcome to this start of a video series that I will start now that will focus on the way I paint figures in 1/35th scale. As 1/35th scale is the only scale I paint and build, mostly. This is what I know how to do, of course, down here. I don't know if you can see them or not. So maybe I should put the camera back further. These are some of the figures I have painted. As you can see not much, but there are pictures of these on ISM. So if you want to take a closer look at them, just go there and just take a look. Leave a comment if you so please. I really love that. I always like a great comment to be left, or even critique anything you would change, any ideas. Just tell me. I always want to learn. I want to get better, and I can't get better if I'm not told what to change or how to get better, actually. And so this series will focus on me painting a figure. Which figure I will paint, I haven't decided yet. It will be either German infantryman. This one actually right now is in the works and in the making, so this guy it won't be. Or a Russian infantryman, or a United States infantryman, or a tanker of any kind of army. You are the deciding factor here. Or I might even paint Rommel, or one of Rommel's staff, whatever you like. I will do this in several steps. I will show you how to prime them. I will show you how to put the base color down, how to pick up highlights and pick out highlights, how to apply washes in order to accentuate different areas, to create depth, to highlight stuff without necessarily dry brushing figures, which I normally don't do, because I think that thanks to the wash, the darker areas already get darkened so that the lighter areas are already lighter, because you can then take off some of the wash, but I will show you that in a later video, because today this video will solely focus on what kind of stuff you need, the setup that you need. Well, let's start with the primer. I don't have, wait, I have it here. See, that's what you call prepared. Normally I use Tamiya's spray can surface primer L in light gray. This is empty now, so I'll probably have to get another one, or I will prime it with the airbrush in gray primer. I always prime my figures in gray, because that way the detail does not get lost as easily, and you can see actually where the detail is while painting. In black I always tend to, well, have problems picking out certain features and certain detail. Well, the next thing that you need after priming, of course, you need time in order for them to set. You need brushes. My brushes are actually from a grocery store or a hardware store that sells all sorts of stuff. They are rather cheap, like $2.50 per brush, but they do wonders for me. They're synthetic brushes. I use a zero brush, and I use a star brush, whatever star means. They are smaller. They are sufficient for me. I'm happy with the way they work, so I keep using them. You can choose whatever kind of brush you want. You just want to have them, well, the size you need them to be in order to be able to pick out details. So I always would recommend a thicker brush, a thinner brush. If you want to use a really thin brush, maybe use 3 brushes. It all depends on what you think fits your skills best. Of course, as I said, I use washes to accentuate detail. First, there's this Make Dark wash. This is really dark, so I only use this probably for German uniforms. For the dark gray German uniforms that are infantry uniforms, I use them for tankers as well, because I think that the black uniforms are just garbage. They look like nothing. I don't know. Or maybe it's just because I can't paint them because they always look monotonous, which I don't want. And then I used a mix thin of washes. And I put some artist oil paint, black artist oil paint, not a lot in here, to create a rather light dark wash. This dark wash is used for faces and hands only, and for lighter uniforms. For example, if you paint a winter uniform, a white uniform, use a lighter one. Or you use a cold gray wash from Mick, that works as well. This is not as harsh and is not as dark as this one, so that picks out detail, but it won't really accentuate depth, other than in areas like faces or white stuff. If my figures are wearing a white shirt underneath their uniform, that will get treatment with this one. When I paint figures, I tend to use acrylics, and as my Vallejo acrylics, of course, are airbrush acrylics, and I do this with the brush, I use the Revell acrylics, Revell Aquacolor. Those are the same colors that Hamilcar Barkas uses for everything he does. At least that's what I think. I haven't seen him use anything else but Revell colors. They're really, really nice to use with a brush. You always want to thin them down with some of the UMP thinner. It doesn't only thin colors for airbrushes, it thins them for the hairy stick just as well and just as good. Highly recommend it. And yeah, so that's actually everything you need, other than time, a good mood, the will to do something creative with a brush, and I'd say a calm hand, because if your hand's shaking like that, you will not be able to paint details and pick out detail. But each and every one of you out there who built models, you have a calm hand and you're able to do this. I'm sure about that. I'm not a perfect figure painter. There are guys on International Scale Modeler that paint figures. When I see them, I just fall out of my shoes and I just lay down on the floor and praise them. Rob, I guess it's Rob, I'm not entirely sure, but I think it's Rob. His figures are out of this world. Hanger's figures are out of this world. Cohen, Hamilcar Barkas, those guys' figures are stunning. I don't think my figures are anything close to that. My figures are just basic figures. Nothing special. Just one layer of paint, washes, that's it. So if you're looking for special tricks on how to put highlights in faces, you might want to watch a different video. This is just basics on how to paint 1/35th scale figures the way I do. If you don't like the way I do, or if you don't like my figures, well, you might not watch as well. If you do, and if you want to learn how to paint figures, this series will be helpful for you, I hope. Helpful for me, be fun for me and enjoyable. I will see whether or not I can make this work with my camera, because it's hard to pick out detail with my camera. But I want you guys to see what I do. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this again, and I hope you guys have a great week, as this is Monday and you do whatever you please, and all the goals that you've set yourself for this week will be fulfilled. See you guys around the next video. Thanks for watching. May the force always be with you, and always remember, Sevastopol is hard modeling. Bye.